Good morning. My name is Nas Yadollahi, President of CUPE Local 79, where we represent 30,000 City of Toronto workers, including the call takers and emergency medical dispatchers at the City Central Ambulance Call Centre. I'd like to start by thanking the Office of Toronto's Auditor General for conducting this review, and especially for the attention they pay to the issues of retention among the staff who pick up phone calls from residents in distress and dispatch ambulances. Since starting my mandate as the president in January, I have heard loudly and consistently from these paramedic service workers that they are overworked, constantly short-staffed, and struggle with morale, all of which have contributed to significant issues with retention, as outlined in this report. These workers are the people who stay on the phone with you when you need emergency help. In the most urgent of times, they will provide life-saving advice until an ambulance arrives to help. As we know from this report, sometimes they do not have the ambulance resources to dispatch, and they have to wait, or worse, put residents on hold until resources are available. But instead of prioritizing the well-being of these workers and ensuring their already stressful job is manageable, we find ourselves facing a crisis in retention and a crisis for paramedics. Thanks to the statistics outlined by the Auditor General's Office, we know that our callers answer on average 910 calls per day, a number that is much higher than any other ambulance dispatch center in Ontario. When our team met with the division earlier this year and asked for statistics around retention, we learned that while some cohorts were meeting the division's set internal retention target of 60%, many were not even close. In fact, for emergency medical dispatchers who trained in 2023, the average retention rate was a mere 46%. One of the classes was as low as 37%. In fact, the Auditor General notes, and I quote, "From 2019 to 2023, the staff turnover rate more than tripled for call takers and dispatchers, from 7 to 27%. Staff retention is an ongoing issue for the division," end of quote. I want to highlight that part of the challenge around retention is wages. We know that for a decade, the City of Toronto has lived in a climate of austerity where services were cut, workers were laid off, and wages remained stagnant. Most ambulance dispatch centers in the GTA, along with fire and police dispatch centers, offer a considerably more competitive rate of pay than Toronto's Central Ambulance Centre. While we have highlighted these issues to a number of city councillors and the mayor, as well as the city's People and Equity Division through appropriate labor relations channels, we have yet to see any action. During her campaign last year, the mayor talked about being put on hold after calling 911 when her father had trouble breathing. I hope this personal experience helps shape the priorities around reducing wait times and improving retention for our workers who undoubtedly answered the mayor's call when she phoned for her father. We welcome the recommendations from the Auditor General to request that the Chief consider additional strategies to improve retention, including a market rate wage adjustment to ensure the division remains competitive and our workers feel valued and respected. I want to end by thanking our members who work in the Central Ambulance Call Centre. They deserve to have the retention issues addressed promptly. I also want to acknowledge that while this is of deep concern to Local 79 CAC workers, we're also residents of the City of Toronto. And as residents, this issue is deeply concerning.